Some of you with greyer hair might remember the film or the TV series called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. The story is about a young man, Adam, who marries Molly. Adam has 6 brothers, all with biblical names, and Molly teaches them how to court a wife. The film offers an analogy for today's gospel. The 7 brothers represent all men and their brides, all women, and their marriages, all marriages. The 7 brides had 7 husbands, specifically and generically. In today's gospel, the Sadducees, hoping to disprove a bodily resurrection, proposed that a woman, following the law of Moses, was married successively to 7 brothers. At the resurrection, whose wife will she be? Christ answers that they will all rise bodily in eternal life, where their marriages will be transformed, because the risen body, unlike our mortal body, does not die. They can no longer die, for they are like angels. Marriage overcomes death in this life, since life continues here through the procreation of children. Parents and grandparents treasure children because through them they've kept death from conquering. Heaven is the end of death, the beginning of life eternal. Whatever in marriage is not subject to death continues enriched, and marital intimacy will be at the level beyond the physical. The Sadducees had asked, whose wife will she be? All 7 had married her. The same could be asked of a wife married for life to one man. The one man has gone through the 7 stages of life. As Shakespeare wrote, all the world's a stage, and one man in his time plays many parts. At first the infant, mewling and puking in his nurse's arms, then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. Then the lover, sighing like a furnace, a woeful ballad to his beloved. Then a soldier, jealous in honor, brave even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice in fair round belly, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut. The 6th age shifts into a leaner form, with spectacles on nose, his big manly voice turned to childish treble, now pipes and whistles. Last scene of all is second childishness and mere oblivion, without teeth, without eyes, without taste, without anything. Shakespeare suggests that a couple who had been faithfully married for many years have been together through the 7 stages of life. Such a woman has had 7 husbands. Count them. The groom who stood with her before the altar, the man who fathered their first child, the young soldier who went off to war, the husband who built their home, the father who danced at his daughter's wedding, the grandfather who doted on their children's children, and the frail senior of fading strength. One man 7 husbands. At the resurrection, whose wife will she be? Whose husband will he be? Physically, none of them. Spiritually, all of them. Even the conflicts of divorce, multiple marriages, and widowhood in this life of time will converge in the life of eternity. The practical message of this challenging gospel is that marriage is more than physical. It is also personal, psychological, and spiritual. And the Spirit is the only thing that lasts. The ardent young are quick to seek a physical relationship without having first established and committed themselves to an enduring personal and spiritual relationship. What endures, not only in the next life, but through the difficulties of this life, is not the physical bond, but a union in the Spirit. The spiritual union should be the first priority of couples preparing for and those living out a marriage commitment. Whose wife will she be? All 7 had married her. What is of death will end. What is of life will be enriched. God is the God of the living, not of the dead. For to him all are alive.